My name is Mark Kolpak. I'm the Visual Effects Supervisor of Heroes, and I work out of Stargate Digital. Visual effects is a craft that creates the illusion of a different type of setting, background, that can't be created in camera. The difference, let's just say, between special effects and visual effects, or special effects are things like atmosphere, rain, fire, smoke, those types of items that is created live on set. Visual effects deals with things that are created sort of post-fact. You know, we put the things together. We'll shoot a blue screen element of an actor, and then we have to put the background in, and then depending upon what else goes on in there, if he flies, you got to add, you know, motion blur, and he jumps, and you know, all that kind of really fun stuff. So visual effects are things that are created after the shoot, so to speak. What's really cool is that you have all these different heroes. They all have different abilities, and they all do different things. I'm here with Tony Ocampo, who is another 3D artist here at Stargate, whose responsibility it was to create the objects that we see in the Tokyo Street freeze time scene. So basically, in this scene, the objective was Hiro and Ando are trying to save this girl with a red bow.
Okay.
And what transpires is a car or a truck here goes out of control, and our little girl is right in the path of this truck. And basically, Hiro has to make a snap judgment decision, and he freezes time right when the truck is going through the actual toys, which this robot in the box and some other shipping boxes, and he freezes that time, and then, of course, everything else created that's in the air is done by Tony Ocampo.
The first thing we had to do was to build the 3D objects that were frozen in midair. The second thing we had to do was to match the camera move of the real camera and translate that into our 3D camera so that we can place our 3D objects where they're supposed to be.
I'm sitting here with Ryan Weaver, who is another 2D artist who works on Heroes. He's responsible for compositing all of the elements for the Tokyo Street freeze time sequence.
The people weren't just holding still, there was also some rigging involved to support them, to keep them in poses. Like, for instance, there's a guy in the background here who is jumping away from this car which is plowing through this table full of cardboard boxes and robots. And he's flying away, so he was suspended on wires. The first task is to remove that rigging so that it will look like these people are just in these poses and held in place by frozen time. And the other aspect is incorporating the 3D elements from Tony down in the 3D department and incorporating those into the footage, which is a little bit complex. The first thing we do is track the shot, because we need the 3D elements to move precisely with the rest of the footage. I did a lot of small things like adding grain onto it to match the grain in the footage, subtle focus effects, because even though it's not a big rack focus shot, there's still very subtle things. All these very small touches to make sure that the 3D stuff that's incorporated looks 100% as real as the rest of the shot, and will just play out as if we really filmed it somehow.
これ死んだな
一緒に来てくれる？
If we do our visual effects job well, the fans don't really pick up on anything that we've done. And I think what's really cool is that if you look at any of the fan sites or people conversing about the show, is that they always just talk about the show. The visual effects rarely ever even mention, which means we're doing our job correctly because it just fits within the character, the story structure, the emotion of what's going on in a particular scene. So it's not distracting, which is what you never want to be. You never want to be distracting. You want to help, suspend that disbelief. And if we do our jobs well enough, then of course, the shots play really well and they become invisible.